Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to bring down some industry headlines. And most importantly, you guys provide some actual insight into what you can do with all this information. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This is the real side of freight, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody who I have on any of my content, you guys here, whether it's my weekday live show or my twice a week long form podcast, you guys, is a transportation professional, you guys. I'm here to put out the right information that you can, coming from the individuals that have done what you're looking to try to do and who are doing what you are currently trying to accomplish, so you can apply, utilize, and see a meaningful difference in your business and your life. It's one of the many reasons why I proudly fly the American flag in my office every single day. We're the greatest nation on earth, but B, I'm living my American dream, and I want to help each and every one of you guys live your American dream as well. As you can see, I'm not in studio. I'm doing this off my laptop. I'm out in Las Vegas. It's going to be my second day over at Con Expo. I got a bunch of stuff scheduled out at that show, which yesterday I was there for about 4 hours, and massive. It is like, if you've never been to this show, you need to come. Like, just the sheer scale of what this operation is just like, as somebody who's worked in transportation the entirety of my career, I do a lot of trade show deliveries and everything, and seeing how this is and how many exhibits there are and knowing everything that had to happen to make this show what it is truly, it's just like, it blows me away. It truly does. I love it. I love being a part of it. I love getting out there. I love running into people that watch my stuff and everything. So yeah, it's great. It's been a good show so far, and I'm going to be back there today doing a bunch of rounds. I got some interviews set up with some individuals already where I'm going to go around and talk to some more people, you guys, because at the end, a lot of it is it's putting more information out there for the blue collar as a whole. Transportation is a massive industry, but it's a part of a larger scale of blue collar jobs. I'm from a blue collar family, working class family in northern Wisconsin, and that's the long term vision with all of this stuff, you guys, is to make that blue collar sexy again. Going to be breaking down some stuff here this morning. Before I do any of that, though, and before I get completely off topic, I got to give shout out to my friends over at VHub, you guys, vhubapp.com. Whether you're a broker, carrier, or a shipper, we all need access to trailers at some point in time. And as always, you guys, the best part about what VHub offers, you get paid to move these trailers. That's right. That's on top of the revenue that you can get by loading these trailers out. So they have Paragould, Arkansas, going down to Irving, Texas, you guys, $550 US to move that trailer. Trailers, excuse me, there's multiple. Then they also have West Valley City, Utah, going up to Calgary, Alberta. You get $1550 US to do that. And now, the thing that I'm excited the most about is the drop trailer pool capacity that you can now create through something like VHub. And for all you brokers out there, that's the thing. When you get up to some of these large enterprise shippers, they want drop trailers. And now you have that capability on VHub. So if you have Paragould, Arkansas to Mississauga, Ontario, you guys have got 150 trailers, and you get 1,000 Canadian to move that. And then they also have Stoughton, Wisconsin, needing to get over to Milton, Ontario. And again, you get 1,000 Canadian to do that, you guys. So hit them up, vhubapp.com. My friends Xavier Campos and Stacey Steen, they'll be in the audience. Just do me a favor, let them know that the Freight Coach sent you. Sanjay Singh, what's up, man? Thanks for joining in. Angie Garcia, good morning. Thank you for tuning in, as always. Sonny Sharma, Orange Shirt Gang, let's fucking go. You are right. Zach Williams, what is up, my man? He says, good morning, freight enthusiasts. You guys, he's with SPI Logistics. If you want to become a freight agent, take control of that financial future, hit him up, you guys. All right, so I got an email this morning, and Mike McBride, if you're watching right now, I'm going to answer this live on the show. You're right, I didn't get a chance to reply to this, but he was talking about the differences between a 4PL and a 3PL, and like how the 4PL is the next thing involved in it. And I think that, and again, this is all relative to what we were talking about yesterday about, selling to your capabilities. And I think that adding another number to, because I think of like a 3PL as like a full service transportation provider. somebody who's out there who has warehousing, who can do cross-docking, who can really do everything. I know 4PL, they're trying to blur the lines with it and say that that's what that actually means. But I also think, like, if you're a freight broker and you have none of those, you don't have warehousing, or anything like that in your suite of services, don't say that. Like, I'm still to this day building my book of business off the fact that I'm a freight broker, right? I'm not a 3PL. I'm not a 4PL. I'm not a fucking 9PL. Whatever the hell that they want to come to. I am a freight broker. I am a third-party freight broker, and that's what I am. Can I find a cross-docking facility? Absolutely, I can, because I've done this a lot in my career. Can I find other solutions out there to present to my customers? I can, but that's not my suite. That's not my wheelhouse, and I feel like there's a lot of power in staying in your lane with a lot of this stuff. I mean, my friend Sam Hunter, he reached out to me about helping transport a car. But I mean, could I have figured it out? Yeah, absolutely I could. But my man Trent Broberg with Assertis, that's their wheelhouse. So I'm going to put him in contact with them to make that stuff happen. And, I think, like, as you're growing your company and scaling your company, because I do know some true 3PL, full suite of services companies that are out there, and that's great. They can do that, and they can sell outside of their silos and offer more of a full suite of services. And, to Mike's question in there, it was talking about it's the new way to get around double brokering language. I think that if you're adding that on there, that's because, like, getting around double brokering language in there, you, as a freight broker, in my honest opinion, if you have to reach out to another freight broker to help cover your freight under the guise of co-brokering, it's only a matter of time before I steal your customer, right? Like, why would they want to work with somebody who can't even handle the freight that they have? They're going to go to people who can, and it's only a matter of time. And I'm not saying I'm going to steal your customers or anything like that, but if you're working in the open deck and heavy haul space, chances are I'm prospecting your customers right now. And if you're doing that, beware. There are people out there who can handle all of this stuff. And this is the point of yesterday, of not overselling your capabilities. There is nothing wrong with going after a book of business that you can actually handle today. That's not to say that you're not going to grow and evolve into later. And I think that throwing a 4PL or a 5PL or whatever on top of that is not doing it. I mean, I guess where I come from in northern Wisconsin, they say you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig at the end of the day. Like, I don't feel the need to try. It honestly reminds me, I'm sure you guys have all seen the movie Joe Dirt before, right? Like, when they're trying to call him Joe Dirt and the security guard tells him, don't try and spice it up, Dirt. I don't feel the need to spice up the fact that I am a third-party freight broker and I'm really fucking good at what I do. All right? I can find what my customers need if I can't do it, or I can put them in contact with somebody who can. I don't feel the need of putting another label on it to try and guise to get around the fact that I can't do my job. I think you're doing yourself more of a disservice than anything. All right, let's see. Ashley M., good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Tracy St. Clair, she's watching over on YouTube. You guys, I stream live on YouTube as well, and the audio-only version of this will be uploaded to iTunes and Spotify, as well as are all the links to the articles that I break down. And I got a message. So this individual, Sawyers Ferguson, he tunes in over on Spotify, and these messages never get old, you guys. And because he had said, just wanted to say that you kick ass. He says, I came back into the freight world last year, and listening to your stuff has been a great help. Not that you would, but please don't lock your content behind a paywall. Nope, Sawyer, that is not happening or in the plans any time in any. That's not even on my roadmap. That's not even on my radar or anything like that. But because I do get asked this question frequently. Like, how do you keep showing up every day? How do you keep coming back every single day, putting out content like this at scale? And it's messages like that I get from Sawyer. It's messages that I get in my DMs from individuals who are applying what we talk about on these shows and seeing a difference in their business. Those are the messages that keep me going, because it's not about, yes, I love it if, when 1 million people download my show. I love it when that happens. I love when people are out there sharing the show and putting it out there, and it's reaching more and more people every single day because of each and every one of you. But what I love the most and who I'm speaking to is I'm speaking to that one individual out there who's seeking that guidance, who's seeking that information, because like that was me just a couple of years ago, and I'm still doing it. Like, I'm always consuming content. I'm always looking for ways to improve and go there. But like, when I first started my business, like, I didn't know I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I found content out there where I felt like they were talking right to me. And when I stopped chasing the vanity metrics of all of my content, and I'm focused on, as long as it helps one person every single day, that's what this is for. That's my mission with all of this, is as long as this helps one person, as long as somebody can hear this and be like, you know what, I'm not the only one who has struggles. I'm not the only one who has challenges and everything in life, and that there's other people out there, and that's what keeps them going in the hard times. That's what this shit's about to me. And that's what I'm never going to deviate away from that. I'm never going to deviate away from that at all. Let's see. J. Sebastian Polania. Sorry, man, if I botched your last name. He says, yes, that's basically what happened. They're going to steal your clients because they can never cover your loads, because they can cover your loads better than you can. Yes, very much so. All right, you guys. Well, hey, let's break down some articles. And as always, you guys, any of the articles that I do break down, I put all the links over there on iTunes and Spotify and everything else for you guys and YouTube to read these articles as well after the show. All right. So first article, ttnews.com. And this is driver recruitment swings towards social media. Candidates want to learn about the company, not just job openings. Truck driver recruiting efforts swung significantly towards social media last year, according to experts. For years, there were folks that were not necessarily wanting to put all their eggs in the digital and social media basket when it came to recruiting, said Priscilla Peters. She's the VP of Marketing and Training at Conversion Interactive Agency. And that they kind of sat on the sidelines and watched for a while, and now they're realizing that they've got to get into the game. The 2022 Recruiting and Retention Annual Report released by Conversion and the Professional Driver Agency found video content on social media platforms drove the shift. Driver leads from Instagram soared 324% year over year, while leads from Facebook stories grew 165% to the prior year. The report noted vertical video ad formats were the fastest growing lead generator out there. Hint, 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 why I go live, why I create videos, you guys, because if you want to tell a story about your company, and what better way to do that than show the actual side of your business that gets people to fall in love with why they would want to come work with you. Let me get back to the article here before we go off on this a little bit. Social media allows employer brands to really connect with drivers and other potential candidates. And traditional media, it's more difficult to do that. I've said it, traditional media is dead. Not in all senses, but it's trending towards social media stuff. She added that candidates are looking to learn more about the company, just not about the job. The best performing content isn't necessarily recruiting type content. It's not that a driver necessarily wants to hear about every job opening you have. They want to see, how do you treat your other drivers, and what's going on at your carrier. And then she noted also that it's not enough just to have a landing page or a website, and that carriers should post fun, informative social media content. Peters also recommends that carriers be attentive to current drivers who post reviews. That reported that 71% of drivers said reviews influence their decisions on if they want to work for that carrier or not. The growth of social media-based recruiting also reflects a generational shift, says Josh Lovan. He's an industry business advisor at JJ Keller. I think the biggest differentiator with social media in recruiting now is the younger generation. Weird, it's like I've been saying that for a few months. A lot of the younger generations, especially the millennials, they really care about social values and everything else, and what your company is doing in social media allows you to say that. Yes to all of this. And let me see here. The most successful companies that start getting a lot of traction with social media figured out how to recognize and praise employees. That can be a litany of different things, but the point is, every single week, somebody in marketing should be talking about something great that a driver did. Matthew Carr, who's a VP at CPC Logistics, noted that the content can draw attention of drivers not necessarily looking for jobs out there. And marketing and advertising agency calling media has seen a shift in carriers seeking more control over recruiting to improve the ROI. That means reduce spending on buying leads from vendors. We see more of a trend towards carriers having their own assets, their own websites, their own social media feeds and everything. Campbell noted that this has caused a shift away from broad advertising methods like television and radio and everything. That's where social media has a great impact because it can put a broad message out there, a more branding, more awareness message, letting people know that a carrier is hiring, letting people know that the benefits of driving for a particular carrier and everything out there. Yes to all of this article. Yes to every single part of this article, because obviously you guys all found me through social media, creating content, driving brand awareness, talking about specific things. It is 1000% where you need to be as a company in today's day and age, right? Like you absolutely 100% need to have a social media presence. You need to have social media marketing and branding is, I think it's the most cost-effective way out there, because from a marketing perspective, I have done everything on my own to build this up, from an editing, content, all of that. I don't place ads out there. Everything's been organic. The show growth over these 3 years has been completely organic. It's been complete word of mouth based off of social media. And I think that giving your employees the power to have their own brands inside of your company is a massive opportunity that most people need to highly look into. I always got to give a shout out to my friends over at Freightvana. I personally feel that from a transportation perspective, as a company at their size, they are doing it better than anybody. Everybody inside of their organization has free will to post about absolutely everything. They are out there doing it. My man Josh Breeze and Ricky in recruiting, and then Lars and Don and all of those guys that are Jesse Griffin, all of those guys are out there posting all the time. And I'm sure there's more, but those are the ones that I see the most in my feed. And that's top-down leadership. That's that's what Shannon and John are talking and pushing down on their team about building their brands out there. Is going through all of that is so key to, recruiting and that next generation. Because again, you guys, like, where is that next generation? They're on social media. They're not reading the fucking want-ans or Indeed.com or listening to a radio infomercial or anything like that. They want to hear from people. They want podcast marketing. They want social media stuff. They want all of this to get out there. So if you're hesitating for whatever reason, don't hit post and just start. If you want a real breakdown on how this can go for you, I posted an article about this a little over a year ago about the realities of building a brand, what you're going to go through from an emotional standpoint, mental standpoint, and everything else, and just go and start and cultivate your own way. There's such an opportunity out there still in our space, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, Twitter. There is no clear-cut leader through all of this outside of the Freight Coach. But I'm just saying, you got to plug yourself, right? You got to be your own biggest cheerleader, or else no one's going to. But no, we need to look at it from this perspective. There's so much opportunity out there to grow, to carve out your niche. If it's recruiting drivers or if it's recruiting people right now in brokerage, there's a massive opportunity out there to tell your real story. My man, Brent Orsugo, Pinnacle Growth Advisors, they're killing it in the recruiter game out there for content, absolutely killing it. And he talks about this all the time. There is such an opportunity to tell your story. This is what's going to get people excited about wanting to come and work for you. Everybody says they're always hiring talent, right? Well, why aren't we doing everything in our power to attract that talent right now through all means of at our disposal? Because, guys, again, the best thing about social media is it's free. It's free to post. It's the greatest ROI that you can get. It's free to post out there. So yeah, it was a good article. I like the breakdown of it. Outside of like the people who are kind of like all of a sudden trying to say like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. Social media has been around for a while. You got to adopt it. And it's still, even in 2023, it's crazy to fucking say that you can be an early adopter to social media inside of the transportation space in 2023. So yeah, that's what it is. Driver recruitment swing towards social media from ttnews.com. Let me see here. Let's go to the second article, is also from TT News. Let's see here. This one, proposed budget request includes $950 million from the FMCSA. Federal commercial transportation operations would receive nearly $1 billion under the 2024 fiscal budget. President Joe Biden, the budget for the DOT would dedicate $951 million to the FMCSA. The agency is tasked with regulating commercial vehicles. The FMCSA's budget allocation includes $435 million for its safety operations division and $516 million for its motor carrier safety grants unit. Specific to the operations division, the funding would back programs related to information, technology upgrades, research and technology initiatives, and outreach projects central to promoting highway safety. Their preliminary goal is to improve roadway safety to reduce large truck and bus fatalities per 100 million vehicles miles traveled. In carrying out its safety mandate, the FMCSA embraces and plays a vital role in DOT's National Roadway Safety Strategy. The NRSS sets a vision of zero fatalities on our nation's roadways and outlines steps out there per the U.S. DOT background accompanying the budget proposal. The FMCSA, Nerf, come on, man, don't do that. Not when I'm reading, Nerf. The FMCSA grant represents an ongoing investment in a motor carrier driver safety that is out there. There are more than 638,000 regulated motor carriers and approximately 6.8 million commercial drivers, including 4.9 million CDL holders that are subject to federal requirements. The FMCSA will continue to partner with state and local agencies and other eligible safety stakeholders to improve safety. FMCSA's discretionary grant programs require applicants to adopt an equity and inclusion program out there and focus on policies. For other aspects of the department budget, the Federal Highway Administration would receive $60.8 billion. The Federal Transit Administration would receive $17 billion. The railroad would receive $4.8 billion, and the NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety Association, $1.3 billion. Pipeline and hazardous materials would receive $387 million, and port infrastructure would receive $230 million. Investment in the repair out there. Let me see that on March 9th, the White House revealed its $6.9 trillion fiscal budget, and the request was graded along partisan lines. His budget would impact every single American family from coast to coast, and that was from Chuck Schumer of New York. It fits the needs of American families to a T and gives them the kind of hope and optimism that America is moving in the right direction. And congressional GOP leaders push back. House Budget Committee Chairman Jody Arrington out of Texas took aim at inflation. Addressing inflation will require serious solutions, not more of the failed policies that got us here, the chairman observed. I encourage my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to work with the White House Republicans to cut spending to reduce this and rein it in. Yes, I would agree with that. I don't know if the American public who are struggling right now to put diesel in their semis or anything else are looking at this and be like, oh yeah, this puts more money in my pocket. I think that reality is we need to become a lot more fiscally responsible with a lot of this. And, seeing that almost $1 billion is going to the FMCSA, and there isn't one mention of addressing what I feel are the core fundamental issues of this industry that are spidering out and causing other things. I mean, I talk about this a lot. I truly, truly, truly feel that chameleon carriers and double brokering and the ability to reincarnate is what's causing, I think that's the root cause of the nuclear verdict epidemic, I'll call it that, in our industry. Because, if somebody out there, because it's always the carriers who haul the load that don't get paid are the ones that are now forced to make harsh decisions on how to operate to try and make their money back. Because by the time it gets to them, it's 60, 90 days in, and they might be 30 days away from losing everything. And then, this budget is a lot of money. I mean, almost $1 billion. That's a lot of money just in this year alone. And yes, we want safer roadways and everything out there. But if we want safer roadways, I think we have to look at it from multiple angles. And I want to see the FMCSA actually take control because, if you're in charge of the FMCSA right now, or if you're a high-ranking member of the FMCSA right now, I just want to see accountability on what we're going to do to fix it. Don't blame past people. Don't blame anything other than the fact that you are the one who's in charge right now. It is on your shoulders, right? It is on your shoulders to make that happen, to make these changes, and to run with this. That's what I want to see the most, more than anything, is who cares about partisan politics right now? We need to fix this shit. All right? We need to fix this stuff because this is going to put people out of business. Now, that might not affect you, and that's what, most people's opinion are, well, how does this affect me? It doesn't. Oh, who cares? But it will affect you at some point. That article is ttnews.com, and it was the budget request, $950 million from the FMCSA. Yeah, Nerf, you're cracking me up, bro. You're cracking me up. You threw me off completely there. Nerf's comment, I'll say, it says, I trust Gandalf the Great more than Mr. Biden. At least he was, dude, it was very mature of you to say it that way. That's funny. Mr. Biden. There you go, man. Good work, Nerf. Good work. Let me see here. Yeah, dude, we got time for, so this article, it was from FreightWaves, this last one. It was weakness in freight shipments to linger. Freight costs fall 10% year over year. This article came out last Tuesday, or it came out on Tuesday. And it was talking that shipments were up from January after 5 months of decline, and then soft retail sales. And it goes in, I don't have time to break down all of this article, but it's, obviously we talk about that a lot here. We talk about, the what can you do in these instances when the market softens or the market changes. I released a clip from a conversation that I had with Nicole Glenn. She's the CEO of Candor Expedite. And we broke this down. That full episode will be released tomorrow. And we talk about this. We talk about the reality of where we are in the market right now. And most importantly, what you can do with this, because there are solutions that are out there. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. I'm not going to say it's going to be a walk in the park. I'm not going to say that you're not going to experience your challenges, but there's an opportunity. And that's what I'm focused on. Again, day by day, scaling it back in there, day by day, and bringing this up. Because, yeah, is the market changed? I think it's pretty apparent. Is it going to be more competitive to get to win customers and earn customers? Yes, it's going to. But this is normal, you guys. This is normal. This is a stark contrast from where things were. But for those of us that have been around, this isn't normal in what you're seeing right now. And this is going to continue here for, who knows? It might be the next year, 2 years. I don't know. My gut tells me that there's going to be a balance out there. And I've mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. There's going to be a balance at some point this year where spot market rates catch up to contracted rates. And that's how the rest of this year, I feel, is going to progress. But again, there's always an opportunity out there if you're looking for it. Don't go run to the hills. Don't do it. Don't go run to the hills and hide right now and wait for the storm to pass. Run into the motherfucker. Okay? Run into the storm. You will figure it out, and you will come out better on the other side. There's a lot of good information in this article. There's a lot of good data points out there. But again, with any time that you see a data point, go to another company and see what their data is, and then compare and contrast, you guys. Compare and contrast multiple data sets, multiple partners, multiple people who are doing this and putting this out there, and see cumulatively what they are all talking about. I think it's going to help you make a more sound decision moving forward out there. But that is it for today, you guys. Those are the 3 articles. As always, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in every single day. We'll be back tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central. And we will also be back. We're still in Vegas tomorrow. I fly home tomorrow afternoon. But I'm back, and I'll be at the show today. If you see me walking around ConExpo, you'll be able to see me. You'll see the hat. You'll see the orange polo. Stop me, say hi. I'd love to talk to you and meet you guys in person. But that's it. And as always, you guys, if you guys saw value in what you heard here today, share the show. You guys subscribe, share the show, rank the show out there. It helps reach more and more people, you guys. That's how we are the top transportation podcast, is because of each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and we'll be talking to you soon.